Hello everyone, hope all are good. It's been almost 6 months since I've released a video, and hopefully things will not be the same, and I'm planning to release at least one video per month. I have planned accordingly, and I hope things would fall in place. In this Cinema of India section, we are into a second movie, which is a Tamil movie. And I would like to, the reason for me to start Cinema of India is primarily to introduce various Indian languages movies. The inspiration for this came from my podcast, my first ever podcast series. There I've talked about a lot of Indian language movies which I came across and which I thought are great movies. And since it's in Tamil, it would reach only a specific set of audience. But I want all these movies to be discovered and celebrated by a lot of people across the world, across India. That's the whole reason. So to talk about this movie, it was released in 1977, directed by a debut Tamil director, and it is the second film for him because he is actually a Malayalam director. This movie was co-written by a then famed film critic Venkat Swaminathan. There were a lot of politics around this film because the then Tamil Nadu government thought this movie is anti-Brahminical, and they do have a very good reason to think so. And this movie was also awarded the best state film of Tamil Nadu in 1978 by National Film Awards Committee. And the famous politician R.M. Veerappan criticized the committee for awarding a film which did not see its theatrical release. So what movie is this? What movie am I talking about? The movie is Agraharathil Kalidai, or A Donkey in a Brahminical Village, directed by John Abraham, and he is a Malayalam director, and he has directed only 4 films throughout his career. It is also said that John conceived the idea for this movie when he was in Coimbatore writing screenplay for a different movie. While he was walking on a road, while he was actually walking in an agraharam, he found that there are donkeys and donkey cubs walking on the street. So he thought, why don't people, have donkeys as pets in their homes? So that forms the crux of the story. So what I'm thinking louder is that how could someone think an idea like this, direct a movie, release it, and also get a national award for it? I don't think something like this would happen at this time and age, and I would leave the whole idea of the movie getting released at this time to your imagination. So the story goes like this. A college professor, Narayanaswamy, takes care of a donkey cub whose mother was brutally killed the previous day, and he feeds it, he comforts it, and gives shelter in his home. The next day, his house help comes home and looks down upon him for having a donkey and keeping a donkey inside the home. That idea for her sounded absurd, and somehow this news spread to his college, and the college students make fun of him. He gets pressured from the dean, or I would say the principal of the college, to get rid of the donkey somehow. Being a kind-hearted Narayanaswamy, he doesn't want to get rid, but he wants to take the donkey to his hometown, which is again an agraharam, where it's surrounded by Brahmins. So the whole idea, the rest of the movie is all about how these Brahmins, or how this agraharam treats that particular donkey and what happens to the donkey. So the director cleverly played with the minds of us, and he also pointed out the superstitious beliefs around the donkey, and the donkey being at a Brahminical village. And on the side we also see a story of a woman who is hearing and speech impaired. The woman is exploited by a man, and at the same time the donkey is exploited or made fun of, or I would say it was tortured by some of the Brahminical kids in that village and some of the the elders in that village. So what happens to that woman and what happens to the donkey, you'll have to watch the movie to understand. The director was very careful enough to talk about the sentiments around the donkey and why we could also call this donkey as a metaphorical statement of the untouchability, the cruelty of a caste system and the cruelty of the untouchability in our society. I think the director wanted to point out that particular thing, and towards the end something happens to the donkey, and the people who hated the donkey started worshipping it. So this all forms a beautiful crux. There are a couple of things which I really like and dislike about this movie, which I would present that to you, and you can decide whether you'd like to watch this movie or not. But I'd highly recommend you to go watch this movie. It is available on YouTube, and I'll leave the link to the movie in the description. The first thing which I really liked about the movie was the parallel construct the director took in this movie. On one hand, he showed the torturous things happening to the donkey, and on the other hand, there is a man who's using this woman, and we as an audience know that he's using this woman, and he might leave this woman towards the end, but she wouldn't. So there is these two things happening at the same time, and that is a parallel. And once you watch the movie, you will understand why the director tried to bring these two people in the same line, in the same story. The second thing is the director questioned the Brahmanism and the associated superstitious beliefs along with this Brahmanism. I'm talking about Brahmanism and not Brahmins. I think you should know a difference. If you do not, please Google it. We have all the resources now. And what I really did not like about this movie is the part of communism, which somehow found its way into the movie towards the end. And there was a song about the communism and all those things, and it really didn't sit well. See, I understand that the director might have a communist idea. He should have brought that slowly into the movie, but bringing it towards the end for no reason doesn't make sense. These are the things which I really like and dislike about Agraharathil Kazhudai, and I hope you would enjoy this movie. As I mentioned before, the link to the movie is in the description. Please do go watch the movie. Until next video, this is Pradeep signing off.